Hi there guys, and welcome to our first ever movie review on Not Quite Mint. I'm Rich, and I'm bringing to you this review of The Gentleman, which I saw last night.
This is the future.
Hi there guys, and yeah, what can I say, our first ever movie review. I'm really excited actually, to be honest, because I've never done a video review of a movie before. We're so used to talking about them with sort of like friends and family and giving my opinions and stuff, but never actually done this where I've done a video. So I do hope that this is okay. If you do want to see more video reviews or film reviews from either myself or Tom, please obviously make sure that you do subscribe to the channel first and foremost, but also obviously hit that like button down below so that we can basically know that we're making decent content. But also down in the comments, if you've seen The Gentleman or you have a particular view that you want to put across, I'd really be interested to obviously find that out. But also, yeah, just let us know if there are any films out there that you want us to take a look at. Yeah, let us know. I do have one of these unlimited cards to go to the cinema, so most of the movie reviews that will be on our channel will be done by me, but I'm going to try and rope Tommy in to come and see quite a few films with me so that we can do joint reviews in the future. And again guys, if you've want us to see or watch any other films, because there won't necessarily always be at the cinema, there won't be new films on Netflix or like Amazon Prime and things like that. If you've got anything that you want us to review or anything like that, obviously, yeah, let us know. That'd be great. Also, remember to follow us on our social media sort of channels or accounts. Sorry. Again, links are in the description on Twitter and Instagram. Better get started with the actual review. So, yeah, we're talking about the new Guy Ritchie film, The Gentleman. I'm a big fan of Guy Ritchie. Take that for what you will. I can remember going and watching, it was one of the very first 18 certificate films that I watched way back when Lock, Stock came out. I went and watched it with some friends. Absolutely loved it. I felt like Lock, Stock completely changed changed sort of like, you know, my view of that type of film, and I really remember it really well. Obviously, as time's gone on, we've seen from Guy Ritchie sort of a mixed sort of range of work, I suppose. He hasn't actually directed as many films as I thought he would do. He's a bit of a, you know, British Quentin Tarantino, if you like. But yeah, he's done some fairly badly received films. Obviously, there's Swept Away, which he did with his wife at the time, obviously Madonna. We got a Revolver, and more recently the, how do I put it, the quite awful King Arthur. Better left forgotten that one for Guy, I think. However, we've had sort of decent ones like Rock and Roller, which was alright, with Gerard Butler, or Gerard Butler. I'm getting The Witcher, Geralt of Riviera mixed up in my head. And the Sherlock Holmes films, which were like big successes for him, and I did enjoy those. But one thing that I had forgotten when I was preparing my notes for this review, I'd totally forgotten that he was involved and I think directed the latest Aladdin film for Disney. I've seen that film. It's okay. Aladdin's probably he's my favourite animated Disney film. Don't know why, but it is. Big fan of Robin Williams. I because I think I was such a big fan of the animated one. Aladdin, the live action one, it was okay. I feel that like Aladdin was, you know, not necessarily like the main character at times in that film, but yeah, I liked the way that it was made. It was you could see the influences of Guy Ritchie, like with the action sequences and how everything came about, and yeah, it was all right. But as I say, it filled me with hope going in to see The Gentleman. What can I say about it? First impressions, first words. I loved it. It really did call back to those early films with Lock, Stock and Snatch, back to like that sort of comedy, sort of crime caper type of thing. Really enjoyed it. Okay. Who's in the film? So I'll quickly give you that overview. Basically, it's a film where you've basically got, like, you know, the Bill Gates of weed production in the UK, a guy called Mickey Pearson, who's played by Matthew McConaughey. Again, a bit of a strange casting, really, but how he's written into the film's quite good, and he's like sort of, you know, he's American coming into the British elite and so on and so forth. Really, really clever. And I like Matthew McConaughey. Yeah, he's a good actor, and he does do a very good job at sort of, like, you know, being that sort of head character in this film. We've got Charlie Hunnam, obviously well known for being obviously Jax in Sons of Anarchy. Again, I don't want to do a spoiler, but, you know, anybody who's watched that show, Jax is the show. Charlie Hunnam, fantastic actor, and he plays the part of Mickey Pearson's right-hand man, a guy called Raymond. We've also got a new kind of actor on the scene. I think I last saw him in Last Christmas with Emilia Clarke. It's Henry Golding. He plays a Chinese gangster called Dry Eye. And again, don't want to ruin the story for you, because I just want to review it and like kind of tell you to go and see it. You know, effectively job done. But just to give you a bit of an insight there. But yeah, he's a good actor. I think we're going to see a lot of Henry Golding. You know, he's a good-looking chap, and yeah, decent actor, to be fair. And I think we'll see quite a lot of him in sort of like the action genre as well, potentially. But obviously, rom-com and everything. Did he do? Was it Crazy Rich Asians? I want to. For some reason, that's stuck in my head, and I probably should have checked his filmography and done my research a bit better before I did this video. But was he in that? I can't remember. Anyway, he's going to be around for a while, so good character and good performance in this film. One really interesting one is the part of Michelle Dougherty. So, for those of you who don't know, Michelle Dougherty is Mary from Downton Abbey. Nearly got the name wrong there, but one of the daughters in Downton Abbey. The two roles could not be further apart. Let me say that she F's and Jeffs and see you next Tuesdays all over the place, and yeah, that's quite, I don't know, it's quite refreshing, do you know what I mean? Because it is a grown-up film, it is an adult film. There's like a lot of bad language in here, not as much violence as I thought there would be, but I might be desensitized to some of the violence. But I didn't feel it was a massively gratuitous film in that respect. But yeah, she does a really good part. She plays the part of Mickey Pearson, so the main character's Matthew McConaughey's. She plays part of his wife. Really interesting character. Next one I want to talk about is Colin Farrell. For me, probably the standout role in this film. You kind of like think that from the trailers especially, that he's just going to be there for like a bit of a comic relief kind of thing, but he actually does play like quite a pivotal part to the plot, and it's good, it's cool. He's really good. He plays part of a guy known as the Coach, and yeah, the performance he puts in is really good. He kind of like links the characters together, interacts with everybody, and he's a good likable character. Which brings me to the next one. Not so much of a likeable character, but still well played. Hugh Grant. Now, Hugh Grant has a fairly illustrious career. He's had also his fairly rub-ins with some nasty stuff, but less like savoury sort of elements. And yeah, I think he channels that side of his personality or whatever in this role. He plays a part of it's like a private investigative journalist type of person, effectively. Yeah, I don't want to give too much away, but his character sort of plays like as almost like the narrator for the film, and yeah, it's really good because he's kind of a little bit shady, a little bit sleazy, and it's some bits with him are quite unexpected, but again, a very entertaining character all the same. So he does a good job. Lesser known characters in there are the guy who plays a media magnate called Big Mike, and also like the sort of like the main kind of almost like the bad guy. He isn't really, but like like he's this kind of like or the, he's kind of like he's Matthew McConaughey's character's opposite effectively, and he's called the actor's Jeremy Strong, and I've seen him in other stuff, but I can't remember specifically what I've seen him in. But he plays part of, I think it's Matthew Berger, who's basically wanting to buy the empire of Matthew McConaughey's character effectively, and that doesn't give any spoilers away, but that's their dynamic. Another notable thing is that the Colin Farrell, he has a group of sort of like cronies, and I won't ruin it for you. But they're sort of like known collectively as the Toddlers, and they are really good, and they're kind of like comic relief, but I feel with the way that the world is, especially in the UK and stuff like that, it's kind of like I don't know, I think they do quite a good job of like, whilst it might be slightly like sort of satirical or like jokey how they put it across, they're quite endearing in a street way, if that makes sense. Like in that kind of like like. I liked it. They were good. But yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm quite positive about this. I think the scripting was good. The way the story's built and put together is really, really interesting. The conclusion's very, very satisfying. How it comes together at the end is very clever. And yeah, it's just really good. There's like little red herrings that come across at certain times that like you're never too sure that what you're being told has actually happened, because it sort of comes from different people's points of views. It's very Guy Ritchie, and that was the thing that made me happy. And it's not that dark really. I don't know. Probably is. There's a few scenes in there that are quite like eye-opening, to say the eye-opening as well as eye-watering. But when you actually watch the film, it was a really busy cinema actually, like because we saw it obviously on a Friday, on the first Friday night when it came out, and oh my god, like the amount of like people all laughing at the same time, considering it's kind of a gangster movie. At funny bits, they were supposed to be comedic. They weren't laughing because it was crap. They were laughing because the comedy and the dialogue and the little quips and the way that they bounce off each other was so well executed, and it was hilarious in parts, like literally hilarious. Very like rude or crude, the language and the humour, but if you like that kind of thing in this like sort of like UK gangster scene type of thing. When I say gangster, it's organised criminality more so than like say street level gangsters and all that kind of thing. It's more like high level organised crime. But yeah, it's really, really clever. But as well, overall, what's the sort of defining act of it is that sort of thing really, that you're dealing with anti-heroes in this film, so we look less at like the sort of the morality of what they're doing, and you look more at the fact of like the actions that people take. Are they are they virtuous, or are they well intended, or are they bad? Whereas I actually felt that it kind of tried to show how if you're going to be successful in their line of work, it almost sort of underlines that sense that people need to be really honest and loyal to their cause, otherwise like things are going to like fall apart really, really fast. And that was the thing. That was my takeaway from it. Effectively, whether that's a good takeaway or whatever, I don't know. For me, I would be if I'm going to give that film a rating, I'd probably go with a solid 8 out of 10. Do I think it was a masterpiece? I think, as I say, it's a return to form, and it'll depend in terms of its long-term ratings on how well it ages, because I did feel that it was quite of the time you know, within this kind of, you know, 2020 kind of time. So whether it'll age that well, I'm not too sure, but going and seeing it now, I really enjoyed it. Definitely recommend you guys go and see it. Would I watch it again? I definitely think I would, because it was kind of like quite feel good in parts. Made, as I say, made me laugh, made the audience laugh. And as I say, I really enjoyed like some of the jokes of the dialogue. The story was good, the acting was good. It was good, yeah. I enjoyed it. But yeah, a solid 8 out of 10. And I'd definitely recommend you go and see it. So, what's next? Hopefully next week I'll be able to bring to you another up-to-date film review. If, again, in the comments, if there's stuff coming out that you would like us to review and watch for you, like I say, it doesn't have to be on it could be on Netflix, it could be, you know, it doesn't have to be on at the cinema. We, you know, more than likely, if it's not at the cinema, Tom and myself will both be able to get together and do a review for you. But yeah, drop a sub. Obviously, like the video if you want to see more, and comment with any ideas down below. Thanks very much for watching, guys. This has been Not Quite Mint. See you next time.